Today is my day. No one will get in the way of my dreams, of my growth, of my desire to be the very best in my chosen field. Yes, I said the very best. No one has the right to take the spot from me. I will sacrifice until I reach the very top. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times life beats me down, I will get up. I will not back down, because I know my courage lies in my heart. My heart is stronger than my body. No one has a stronger heart, a stronger mind. Send me 10,000 men, and I will defeat them all with my heart alone. I am focused. I have the heart of a lion, the courage of 1,000 men, and the strength of the universe at my back. If you believe it's possible, you can achieve the impossible. Believe in yourself. You can do it. No limits, no boundaries, no doubts. Listen close, dream achievers, because today we'll be talking about something extremely important: self-esteem. Welcome to Olympian Sunrise.
Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are.
How we view ourselves, our worth, and our abilities is perhaps the greatest factor that affects how we live our lives and how we perceive our capability to succeed. If you're watching this video, it might be because you're curious about the secrets to having high self-esteem. Have you ever noticed that there are some people who are confident and self-assured, regardless of their achievements, financial status, or happy family life? You might look at them and notice that perhaps you sit higher than them on the career ladder, or that you have a happy and successful relationship and they are alone. And yet, they seem to have a much higher self-esteem than you do. What's wrong with them? Conversely, you might also know of people who have achieved great success in life. Their educational attainment is as high as it goes. They are financially stable, they are in a loving, committed relationship, and perhaps even have wonderful children. Yet, they never seem all that confident, and you get the sense that they don't view themselves too highly. What's wrong with them? This is because self-esteem is in fact not dependent on factors like money, career, or relationships. You can be the richest man in the world, or not have a single achievement to your name, and these wouldn't affect how you see yourself. What then are the factors that make up a person's self-esteem? This may surprise you, because it has nothing at all to do with what you would normally think. According to psychologists, our self-esteem stems from deep sociological experiences that happened in our past. The first thing that makes or breaks a person's self-esteem is their childhood. You may be surprised to learn this, but no one is born successful. They are born a baby, and then become successful. Many children grow up with parents that expect much from them: good grades, to excel in sports, to have many talents. Of course, children who grew up this way tend to be high achievers, but because their parents' approval, and perhaps even love, had conditions, this can make them feel that they aren't good enough, or that they need to bend over backwards for approval and support. And eventually, if they don't fix this, they unconsciously self-sabotage themselves later on in life. Children who grew up more freely, on the other hand, whose parents demanded very little or showed affection and approval without conditions, grow up to be more secure, because love or affection did not have to be earned or worked for. These children tend to see the approval of others as a given, therefore giving them high self-esteem regardless of the conditions. Stay tuned, because there are ways to change this regardless of your upbringing. The next factor that affects self-esteem is what our peers do. As human beings, it is perfectly natural for us to some extent to compare ourselves to those around us, specifically those who are close to us in age and social status. This is why middle school and high school interactions with peers have lasting effects on us, even into our 40s if we let it, even though you're no longer that person at all. Or here's another example. If you work a well-paying, fulfilling corporate job, for example, but all the friends you grew up with are all CEOs, certainly this will have some effect on how you view yourself, regardless of any career achievements or financial success you've achieved. Similarly, if you were working the same well-paying, fulfilling corporate job, but all the friends you grew up with are all jobless, this will make you feel much more successful. Stay tuned, because there are ways to change this, regardless of how much money you make. And the final factor, which greatly affects our self-esteem as adults, is how we measure ourselves against our same-sex parent. If you had a childhood growing up with a jobless mom or dad, any job you take, regardless of how little or big the pay is, chances are you will see yourself highly in terms of career. On the other hand, if you grew up as the son or daughter of the richest man or woman on earth, you might not feel like any financial success is ever enough, even if you are making much more money than most people. So it all comes down to this: childhood, peers, and parents. How you feel about yourself is determined by other people and not you at all. Time to change that. Self-compassion is the key. In order for us to learn to be confident and hold ourselves to a high but healthy regard, it is important to watch how we talk to ourselves in our head. Why wouldn't you want to be kind to yourself? Treat yourself kind and understanding when you make a mistake. Don't harp on thoughts of things you said or did wrong. Stop beating yourself up. As long as you learn from your mistake, that is the only lesson for you. And after the lesson, there is no homework. So don't go home with all your problems. We are all hard on ourselves, possibly more than others. Don't be. What happened in high school was just that and nothing more. It no longer exists. That's no longer you. You have grown since then. You have more knowledge, more experience, and that circumstance no longer defines you. Claim that. What your peers do or say about you is just that, what they say. We have an expression for comparing ourselves to others. It's called keeping up with the Jones. You can't judge someone on their 18th chapter of life with someone on their 10th. It doesn't even matter what someone else thinks about you. They're not you. They don't run your life. They don't pay your bills. Their opinions don't matter. Only what you think matters. What they say doesn't define you. What your mom and dad say do not define you. They did their best with raising you. But it is your life now and you're in control. Be your own individual. Invest your time in things you like and that help you grow. Be kind with your own self-talk. In life, there will always be people who will seem more successful or less successful than us. But what matters most is that we learn to look within ourselves. If we try hard enough, we just might find what we are looking for. The realization that each day, despite difficulties and challenges, we are trying our best and doing our best, and we can never really get it wrong, and that alone should be enough to make us believe.